This week, the MMA world is buzzing with fight drama, retirements, title shots, and emotional reactions. From Jon Jones' massive demand to Ilia Topuria's fiery response and new nickname, we're diving into all the latest action. Jon Jones is once again in the spotlight, this time for allegedly demanding a staggering $40 to $50 million to fight interim champion Tom Aspinall. Previously, Dana White shot down reports that Jones was seeking $30 million, but Colby Covington recently claimed the price tag might be even higher. According to Covington, Jones could be attempting to price himself out of negotiations to avoid the matchup. Aspinall, on the other hand, met with UFC executive Hunter Campbell and left feeling optimistic about his future, noting how positive and fantastic their talks were. He remains adamant that if he doesn't get Jones, he's going after the undisputed title and won't defend the interim belt again. Whether Jones actually goes through with this fight or chooses retirement remains anyone's guess, but there's no denying the matchup could be the biggest heavyweight showdown in recent history if it gets signed. Robert Whittaker has his doubts about the proposed Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight ever materializing. Despite Aspinall holding the interim belt and pushing for the big payday, Whittaker believes Jones could be trolling everyone by signing a contract, training for months, and then walking away. He shared that he can't shake the feeling that Jones is simply maneuvering for leverage or a retirement plan, while Aspinall remains cool, joking about F Tom Aspinall chants at Mike Perry's dirty boxing event. Fans are left wondering if the heavyweight clash of the century will truly happen. If it does, pundits like Whittaker agree it could shatter pay-per-view records. Still, Jones's future intentions remain uncertain, and the waiting game has the MMA community on edge about whether Bones will finally face the rising British star. Magomed Ankalaev addressed Joe Rogan's claim that Alex Pereira competed against him with a broken hand and norovirus. While Ankalaev didn't confirm or deny the specifics, he reminded everyone that no fighter steps into the octagon in perfect condition. According to Ankalaev, he was open to an immediate rematch in August, but Pereira wasn't ready to sign on. Ankalaev declared he's willing to fight whoever is next, emphasizing that he's not interested in staying inactive. Fans are now split on whether the UFC should book an Ankalaev versus Pereira rematch next, or line up another top contender for the Dagestani bruiser. Either way, the light heavyweight title picture is in a state of flux, and Ankalaev wants to make it clear he's game for all comers, regardless of their health status or background. Kamaru Usman recently laid out his wish list for the next few fights, revealing that Sean Brady tops his chart. He believes a showdown with Brady, who's riding high from a significant victory over a former champ, could vault the winner straight into title contention. If that can't happen, Usman is open to facing Shavkat Rakhmonov or Joaquin Buckley, both rising threats in the welterweight division. Usman respects Brady's climb and believes that if Brady managed to get past him, there would be no denying a title shot. He also pointed out that no one else in the division has such a strong recent resume, having once sat atop the 170-pound ranks. Usman is meticulously plotting a path back to gold, and fans are eager to see which challenger steps up to the Nigerian nightmare next. In the aftermath of his first ever submission loss, Leon Edwards has to figure out his next move. Michael Bisping suggested Ian Gary would be an ideal matchup, given Edwards was originally set to face a striker in Jack Della Maddalena, but ended up against a grappler on short notice. Gary, known for his confidence and striking prowess, isn't opposed to fighting Edwards, but he wants it on a big stage like International Fight Week. With Edwards coming off a hasty training camp, this could be a quick turnaround if the UFC decides to book it soon. Observers think Edwards needs a stylistically favorable fight to regain momentum. Whether Leon Rocky Edwards chooses to jump back into the cage so quickly remains uncertain, but the matchup against Gary is generating plenty of buzz among fans and analysts alike. Cain Velasquez received a 5-year prison sentence for his 2022 incident, though he's already accrued significant time served behind bars and under house arrest. The MMA community rallied behind the former heavyweight champion, criticizing what many see as an overly harsh punishment given the circumstances. Khabib Nurmagomedov, Michael Chiesa, and Bryce Mitchell were among those voicing their support, noting that Velasquez took drastic action to protect his family. Prosecutors initially sought 30 years to life, but the judge showed some leniency by crediting Velasquez's 1,283 days served. With good behavior, he could see freedom in under a year. Reactions across social media ranged from outrage to relief that the sentence wasn't longer. Many fighters insist the real crime is letting the alleged offender walk free, and the conversation on vigilantism versus justice is still raging in the MMA world. Following a gritty win over Marvin Vettori, Roman Dolidze came under criticism from Robert Whittaker, who likened the fight to a bar brawl and admitted he lost interest halfway through. Dolidze wasted no time firing back, pointing out that Whittaker has been knocked out in some of his high-profile bouts and is in no position to talk. He also suggested Whittaker is too loud considering he's coming off a loss and needs to prove his toughness in the octagon. Despite the hostility, a fight between the two appears unlikely. Whittaker wants top 5 matchups, eyeing Sean Strickland at International Fight Week as a fast track back to title contention. The feud adds another layer of drama to the middleweight division, but the conversation might remain purely verbal if the two men continue on separate paths toward the championship. Fresh off a colossal win over Leon Edwards, Sean Brady now finds himself in the welterweight top 5 and has set his sights on Shavkat Rakhmonov. Brady maintains he won't step backward in competition and believes he's just 1 or 2 fights away from a title shot. He also called out Edwards and his team for being corny and salty post-fight, suggesting he regrets not being even more aggressive. For Brady, the next logical move is facing top-tier competition, whether that's Rakhmonov or another high-ranked contender. He feels the welterweight division is finally giving him the respect he's earned, and he's more than ready to capitalize on the momentum. Whether the UFC chooses to book Brady against Rakhmonov or even slip him into a vacant title spot, he's determined to keep climbing until the belt is within reach. Molly McCann announced her retirement following a short-notice loss to Alexia Tainara, which dropped her to a 1-4 record in her last 5 outings. She admitted the fight against a debuting opponent making quick work of her signaled it was time to walk away. Through tears, McCann explained she no longer felt motivated to fight after this most recent setback. Paddy Pimblett poured his heart out on social media, calling McCann a true UK MMA legend who will always be family. Though her fighting days are over, her influence in British MMA remains, especially as the first English woman to earn a UFC victory. Expect to see her cage side whenever the UFC returns to London, cheering on fighters from her hometown and beyond. Fans, teammates, and analysts all took a moment to honor McCann's journey from working at Subway to becoming a household name. Ilia Topuria once again fired shots at Charles Oliveira for dismissing his potential lightweight title contention. In a Spanish interview, Topuria sarcastically offered to walk Oliveira around Toledo to teach him some culture. He also revealed his new nickname, La Leyenda, the Legend, symbolizing the next phase of his career at 155 pounds. To top it all off, Toledo officials announced they would name a street in his honor, leaving Topuria feeling both grateful and emotional. He acknowledged that it's a tribute not just to him, but to his entire family and everyone who supported him along the way. As for Oliveira, Topuria maintains that no one who doubts his title legitimacy has read even a single page of a newspaper. The tension is real, and whether Oliveira changes his tune or not, Topuria is barreling into the lightweight division with or without approval. If you enjoyed the update, drop a like, subscribe for more weekly MMA news, and tell us what fight you're most hyped for in the comments. See you in the next one.